Alright, if you are a card reader who is ready to start making some money from what you do, then I want to share with you 7 tips on how you can do that. I have been working as a professional full-time tarot reader since July 2019. And so I just want to share with you some of the things that really seems to work for me, some suggestions that I made to other people, and hopefully some of those things work for you. So I'm just going to give you some ideas. You can really decide how you apply them to your life. You know, maybe you are ready to go to that next level. So maybe you've been doing a lot of individual work with people one-on-one, and maybe you're ready to go work with bigger groups now. Or maybe you're just starting out, whatever it may be. I just really wanted to create something to maybe share with you some things that might be helpful. For those of you that's coming here the first time, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a psychic tarot reader. I'm a Reiki master, crystal healer, regression hypnosis practitioner, NLP practitioner. I'm a massage therapist. So I do a couple of things, but you don't have to do a couple of things, you know, or you might. It's literally pretty much to each their own. So I'm just sharing some ideas here. Take what resonates with you, what doesn't resonate with you, leave that, that's for someone else. If you are returning and you have been supporting my channel for a while, I'd really like to thank you for that very, very much. And I'm currently staying in an apartment block, and I've heard somebody drill somewhere in the complex. You know, in apartment complexes, somebody's forever fucking renovating something, which is just the name of the game. So if there does happen to be some background drilling happening, just know that that is the reason why. Alright, so let's get right into them. So I'm just going to name you these 7 tips, and then I'm going to go back and go through them one by one. I'm not going to put any timestamps in here because the one sort of like pretty much built on the other. So, you know, if you do listen to it, let's rather listen to the whole thing, because I think that is really when you get sort of the benefit of it. So the 7 tips is like free live readings, wellness events, a website, accepting one-on-ones, group coaching, intention, and you know, sort of like your personal life. Now, don't get scared by any of those things. If you don't have a website, don't get stressed about it. All right? Don't get stressed about any of those type of things. I am here to help you, especially if you are new and you want to find some ways to do things. All right? So remember, it's not a game of comparisons. Okay? When I started out on my Samsung phone, which was quite a crappy phone actually, you know, very entry-level sort of Android phone, and there were many challenges, many challenges. And so I'm just trying to share some things with you for how you can actually grow your business, make some money, if that is the interest that you have. So free live readings. Now, a lot of people's going to say to you that you shouldn't do anything for free. You know, and understand that obviously time, you know, equals value and money and things like that. But people need to know that you exist. People need to know that you are there. And so what I would say is that there is a fine balance that you want to maintain, though, when you do this. So with free live readings, this could be, you know, depending on obviously when you look at this and where the world is, but, you know, this could be Facebook Lives, YouTube readings, Instagram posts, Instagram Lives, Reels, shorts on like those 1-minute videos on YouTube, you know, all little things that you just share messages. They're really called books actually, where you let people know this is what you have. And there's a balance to maintain between these two. So you want to give people something valuable, you know, literally to each their own. But what a lot of people do is they touch on a subject and then they leave you with way more questions than answers. But then if you want the answers, then you have to pay for X, Y, and Z. And I can understand how that, you know, how that makes sense in sort of like a business dynamic. But what we also want to remember is that sometimes somebody might be way out there feeling lost in the world, don't know which way to go to. And, you know, if you can maybe give them 1 or 2 things that can be very beneficial to them, it can really help them, you can really make a difference in their life, which I think is really fantastic. But if you kind of touch on all the things that bother them and you give them no solution at all, then you might actually be setting that person back as opposed to propelling them forward. So I think just be mindful maybe, with your coaching as well. And then going hand in hand with that, you also don't want to give people so much in your hook that they don't have any need to book anything. And that is something that I used to do. And so I used to do a lot of Facebook Lives, Monday to Friday, 7 o'clock in the morning, for probably, I can't even remember, but I think I had it going for about a year and a half. And so what would happen is more and more people would start coming on. And so the first couple of people that I do readings for, I give these people full-blown readings, blow their minds. And obviously as you go down the thread, now this life is to be going on for like 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, and you start feeling depleted. And then I give the other people less. So you want to just maintain that balance. But, it's a good thing to maybe make use of something like, like Facebook Lives, or just daily draws, or just like a message, this is for everyone, whoever sees this, you are meant to be, a type of thing. But one way or the other, you need to let people know that you exist, And I'm going to say that if you are, you don't have to do this, but if you are going to give something for free, you maybe want to think, okay, so if I give this for free, what can I possibly get from it? And think of it as part of your marketing. But, when you are a card reader, be it tarot, be it oracle, be it whatever, there is still a level of integrity that you want to maintain, So, and that is quite important as well. And, but then again, it really depends on what your mission, your vision, your goal is. So if you, for example, want to become a big influencer on YouTube and you only want to make money, from YouTube readings, you don't really want to do personal readings, first of all, communicate that in your comment or with your people. But, then you're probably going to have to really get at it. You're gonna have to get at it. You're going to have to provide that material. And, you can still say to people, if you want to buy me a coffee or whatever, like I've got a link to my PayPal, for example, in my descriptions. I don't even mention it to people. But, if you want to buy me a coffee, then you can. Or you just put it in the description. Sometimes people are very appreciative. And I find that people are beautiful and wonderful and really appreciative when you come from honest intentions. All right? So I'm going to say you can do things for free, but make sure that you come from a moral point when you do it. All right? But it is really great for marketing. It's really great for growth. And here's the thing. We learn through trial and error. You're not really going to know no matter how much marketing you do and research and whatever, you're not really going to fully grasp what your sort of like your dynamic is, your graphic that you work for, until you sort of start doing something. So in that sense, let's start, let's begin, all right? Another way to market yourself, maybe you don't feel so comfortable with sort of like appearing on camera. Yesterday I've actually recorded a video for, 3 things that you can do if you want to appear on camera and some other things. You can get all these videos in my YouTube playlist that says free tarot coaching, So whether you're a tarot reader, oracle reader, holistic wellness practitioner, you want to grow. I'm trying to make this video for as broad an audience as possible without becoming so broad that I actually don't give you anything valuable. So if you're not comfortable with sort of like, a free online event or something like that, there is a different spin to that as well. You can do holistic markets, small get-togethers. You can have small gatherings at your home or your space, or join someone else that's doing that. So that's an option as well. I remember in the early days I used to do quite a lot of holistic markets. Actually, I used to get quite a lot of clients from there. I personally didn't really like the energy all that much. It was a little bit all over the place for me, because I'm quite intuitive and I will pick up all these energies, excuse me. And so that didn't really quite work for me. But There is also a really great space to maybe gain one-on-one experience with people. You know, when we go to these sort of more public events, you know, not everybody expects you to really delve down so deep, you know, so you can maybe make short a little readings. That's quite cool. You can even sell decks or just have decks and explain to people why you like certain things. So maybe you don't even do readings, you just let them know why you do what you do, but they're probably going to expect you to do something. If you maybe feel that tarot is too serious to do in a public space, you can maybe draw a nice deck of oracle cards with just, you know, simple messages on it. You know, keep on going, your angels are with you, something motivational, because sometimes, a lot of times, people really need that as well. I mean, you can set yourself up a little kiosk in a mall or outside some sort of complex or whatever. Could be a little bit challenging, but it could be a good start, all right? So that might be something to consider. Now, a website. Now, don't stop listening. If you don't have a website, you can't afford to have a website, you are IT challenged, which in many ways I am. You know, anything like that. Don't start to, oh my Lord, Adrian said I must have a website, I don't have a website, end of the road for me. No. All right. So a website is very valuable in a sense that it can explain to people what you do. And I've had 2 websites previously, prior to the one that I've got now. And I started both those websites because I wanted to legitimize myself. I felt that if I have a website, then people can see who I am. Yes, I made it, you know, be proud of me, look at me shining brightly. But the website that I have now, which is a lot simpler than the ones that I had before, because now I don't, you know, I don't feel the need to impress anybody, so there's not the bells and whistles. It is more like a page that you just scroll. You know, psychicadrian.com, it's more like a page that you just scroll, it lets you know, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how you can get it from me, this is how much it costs. You know, complete transparency. And the reason why I've got a website now is because I came to realize this one day that I spent almost 2 hours explaining the same thing to people over and over. And I've been doing that for a couple of weeks already, so it became more like a logical next step. It became like a necessity that was explaining to people, this is what I do. You know, so in that sense, you can have a website, you can have a page, you can do it on your Facebook page, you can do it on your Instagram, you can, do not underestimate good old pamphlets that are printed out, you know, and it's, you want to really take these decisions. So whether you do Facebook Live, whether you go to the holistic market, whether you have a website, you want to always have that intention with who is it that you're trying to reach. So even though you might reach an unexpected, you know, demographic that you didn't expect to reach, you need to have some sort of intention for who it is that you want to reach and how it is that you would like to help them. You know, so would you like them to, like me, discover, you know, the magic of who they are, delve really, really deeply, you know, to unlock it, to expand it. I really like to walk on that next level. Or do you just want to motivate them? What is it that you would like to do? Because the clarity that you have within you is somehow subconsciously communicated to everyone, and they get it, so those people then come to you, all right? But your website doesn't have to be an electronic thing. You know, a friend of mine works at a kiosk that sells crystal jewelry, beautiful crystal jewelry, and she just communicates to clients, you know, I do this, I do that, this is what I offer, that is what I offer. And so when I say website, it's really a way of communicating to people who you are and what it is that you do. In that way, your Facebook Lives can be that. You know, your Instagram posts can be that. All right? So, yes, you know, I think the world is changing quite a lot. So there are still some people that feel that, you know, you're the real deal if you have a website and you're not if you don't. But, you know, that way of thinking is pretty much dwindling away these days. All right. So, accepting one-on-one sessions. Now, when we first start out, this can be quite an overwhelming thing. You know, so I've been intuitive all my life. I've been reading tarot for more than 20 years. And so back in 2019, I was broke. I was staying with my friend. About 3 months ago, I lost a job that it was so soul drenching. It was it was just horrific. It's this company that we were selling accommodation for them online, but just, I'm telling you, it's like putting your brain and your heart and your mind and your integrity and your just a little shred of self-respect that you have left. It's like putting it through the blender, and when you think there's nothing left to take from you, then the following day it's even more, you know. So I was staying with my friend. I've just lost this job over something so stupid. The company was actually looking for, I think the company was running into financial trouble. I don't even know. But, you know, they were looking for excuses to fire people left, right, and center. And so on my, and I'm just sharing this because maybe you're finding yourself in this space and you're saying to yourself, how the fuck will I ever even be able to get to where you are or where other people are? So I just want to give you a bit of my history to let you know that, you know, you don't just sort of like fall into it. You know, it's a very brave thing to do, I think. And especially when it comes to accepting one-on-one clients, all these demons in your head, all the insecurities, all the subconscious beliefs that are holding you back, they really come out and they drum like crazy, like, who do you think you are? You know, you don't have your life sorted out. You don't know where you are going. What can you do for someone else? All of those thoughts really begin to come out, you know, when we are ready to really challenge ourselves and to go to that next level. So, you know, I was working for this company. It was absolutely terrible. On my own personal WhatsApp statuses, that has got absolutely nothing to do with the business whatsoever. I remember that I was, many years later, after Lucifer came out, the series, I was watching it with a friend of mine, and you know, I can't even remember. I put some status about, you know, sort of like, I think when your boss is the devil, it makes for interesting experiences or something like that. Next thing, my manager comes to me. This woman is full-blown fucking crazy, losing it. You know, like you're pulling the company into disrepute. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, like seriously, I was like, what are you talking about? You know, and she said, I want you to just take an hour. You know, it was an online job, you know, get offline and just think about the, you know, the levity of what you have done. And I was like, you know what, fuck this bitch. I like myself a blunt. You know, go screw yourself. You know, go open that bottle of ice cold wine that's in my fridge and screw this, you know. And then probably about 35 minutes later, I get this official sort of like notification of a disciplinary, drawing the company into, you know, disrepute and whatever. And I was just like, screw this. And at this point, I still wanted to keep my reputation. I didn't want to be fired. So I just said, I just resigned with immediate effect. And I don't even know. I think like a year later when I needed my tax form, you know, this woman was like, how are you doing? And I was like, you know what, can I just have my tax form? That's all I want from you. Because obviously at this point, a lot of other people have been fired as well. And she was like, you know, you should have spoken about it and how you felt about it. I was like, can I just have my tax form? It's all I want from you, you know. But just to let you know that you might be in that space. So when it comes to one-on-one, you have all these things coming up in your mind. And I never really fitted well into sort of like corporate environments and things like that. I always felt them very toxic and draining, and so you might have all these things coming up in your mind, and maybe somebody's saying to you, well, they're finding themselves in this space in life and they'd like to move to a different space, and can you help them? And you're like, well, you know, your doubts really come up. And I want you to remember that a lot of times we remind ourselves of what it is that you can't do and what it is that you haven't achieved yet. And when people come to you for sessions and things like that, they're not coming to you because they believe that you've got all of your life together. They come to you because they believe that you might be able to help them to sort out their troubles. Okay? So show up for that. It can be very challenging to accept one-on-ones, but you can learn quite a lot from it. And, you know, this is my experience, when you show up with integrity and morality and good intentions, you know, you're not trying to gaslight people and stuff like that, then the right people will come to you and you can really grow through that. All right? So, and you know, maybe don't overwhelm yourself right from the start. You know, don't make all these false sort of promises that you don't know if you can live up to them, and then at night you can't sleep because your anxiety is going through the ceiling. Can I deliver on what I promised? You know, be honest. I find that people really relate to honesty very powerfully. Okay? And then there's group coaching. So you might be at a point where you are ready for group coaching now, or you might be doing it already. You might want to go in that direction. And that can be really, really great, especially, you know, when you start to train, when you start to coach. I've got a couple of courses that are doing really, really well on the UDEMY platform. There's links for them in the description. And, you know, I've been doing some in-person coaching quite a bit. I've done things on like groups on Zoom, which has been super, super fulfilling. And so this is how I used to do it. I don't like to mince my words. I don't like to, you know, like if this is you, that is fine, you know, but I don't like to sit and rehearse, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do it like this, I'm going to do it like that. I like to just do things the way that I do this video in a very flowy sort of way. And so when the pandemic hit and, you know, I was encouraged to, and even asked to do group coaching online on Zoom, it really triggered all my insecurities left, right, and center, because I'm used to doing things in person. You know, you can observe the group, you can see where it's going. Am I boring them? Are they getting it? Should I move faster? Should I move slower? You know, am I overwhelming them? And so I'm going to say, if you're open to group coaching, maybe start small, maybe get into some groups, see how other people do it. Follow people that do what you'd like to do, you know. I am currently in this exceptionally amazing online group with like 19,000 plus participants, which is a group thing by Aaron Doughty, Victor Odo, and Matt Cypher, which are people that I've been following for years. I think they're exceptional. And I follow them because they do what I would like to do. You know, and it's not about copying what they do. It's about, you know, I suppose if you want to be a hairdresser and, you know, you want to learn how to be a good hairdresser, you're going to go hang out in a hair salon or wherever they do hair, you know, because that's where you can pick up. So whilst I encourage you to challenge yourself, I don't encourage you to overwhelm yourself. Maybe start with a smaller group, you know, maybe start with something smaller for free or at a lesser rate, but don't do it to the point that you ask so little that you almost grow sort of like aggro towards what it is that you do. Okay, you can even see your live things as like your free Facebooks, like I used to do free Facebook lives, you know, Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was something that I really committed to. You have to commit to what it is that you want, you know. No matter how inspired you are, no matter how talented you are, you have to commit to things, all right, if you want to grow. And if you say that you want to become a group coach, but you don't feel the courage to do it, you know, then it might mean that you might need to work on gaining more courage, you know. I used to work for a company where, quite a big corporate company actually, I think the head office is in Ireland, and then, you know, they've had a lot of these people in South Africa doing coaching for them, and they actually, you know, the way that they explained it to is like, I was like, it was for crystal healing, and I was like, listen, how are you going to do it? I'm not that proficient in coaching. So, you know, they're like, well, we want you to bring your personality into it. You know, so I was like, okay, well, the way that I like to do it, if you want me to talk about something, I will ask you, well, what? Do you want me to speak for 5 minutes, or you want me to speak for an hour and a half? I can do it both ways, you know. Explain to them how I do things. They're like, no, this is great, such a breath of fresh air, blah, 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 blah. You know, the way that corporate companies normally gaslight you. And then when I get into this, so now I've passed the interview and like whatever, so when I get into the company, it's the direct opposite of what they promised, and it is all the things that I say are challenging to me, and I suddenly have to do, and you have to do PowerPoint sort of stuff and all kinds of weird things. And the microphone I got from them to record the lessons, this microphone is not working, like, and they pretty much like, we don't understand how this microphone cannot be working. It's a brand new microphone. It's very expensive. It's top quality. Everybody else's is working fine. You know, in the way that corporate companies can often be kind of trashy, that suddenly it's my problem. So I felt so out of my depth. I felt so discouraged. I completely stopped believing in myself. I had no confidence. I was doubting myself left, right, and center. But then through that experience, I also learned a lot there. You know, so it's challenging experiences. It's a good thing to sometimes ask yourself, what can I learn from here? And that prepared me to become better at group coaching, you know, to learn how to do things online with UDEMY, for example, where I have to cater for many different people that have different learning styles and stuff like that. And I'm quite proud to say that at this particular point in time, which is somewhere around the 20th of February 2024, I'm not sure exactly what today's date is, but it's around the 20th, it's like the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, 22nd, something like that. That I learned so much there, and that is where I realized that I really lack a lot of confidence. So I signed up for a course, you know, to overcome lack of confidence, you know. So you're going to be discouraged as you go along, but I want to say to you, use the discouragement you get as a platform for you to really, you know, uplift yourself and propel to that next level. You know, maybe sign up in a course on how to do group coaching. I mean, that's not a course that I have. That's not something that I thought about, but maybe that is something that I, you know, could be doing. You know, also at group coaching that I, for example, have is something that I like to do that I'm currently actually doing, and it's starting on, so I suppose I can back there if I want to, but, you know, February the 26th, which is on a Monday, I'm doing this 11-week course, and maybe this is an idea for you. And it's not even a fresh idea. A lot of times you try to reinvent the wheel, and that's often how we hold ourselves back. You know, no ideas are really new. It's about putting your positive spin or your personal spin on it. But anyway, so what I have, it's a course that runs over 11 weeks. There's 55 lessons. They're about 20 minutes each. I pre-record them and upload them onto my YouTube channel, and I put them up as unlisted videos. So I send you a link every day to your WhatsApp on your phone. So there's a personal connection. I can send you a personal message. And for 20 weeks, we're working through this beautiful coaching, which is an oracle card course, but it's also about psychic development. It's about going closer to spirit, going closer to source, you know, self-development, and also psychic development past those categories that we sometimes have. Well, you know, I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, because we sometimes put things in boxes like that. And so I'm doing the work once, but I'm getting paid for it repeatedly. And that is a great way of doing things. That's one of the benefits of group coaching, but still do it from a point of integrity, morality, and respect. All right? Don't just say, oh my goodness, I get a lot of money from a lot of people, so, you know, I'll just do it half-hearted. The idea for me personally is to get them even more than they would probably expect it, okay? So really be good with your word and deliver, consciously deliver well, okay? But then there's a balance between the two. You always want to share, because remember, in a group dynamic, you work with people that are sort of like different mindsets. They come from different spaces. So you want to share to be heard. You want to share to be understood. You know, and that is where sometimes the ego can come in. But I mean, you can do many things in groups. You can do guided sessions. You can do something that I like to do is like sort of like breathwork sessions. You know, I'm a regression hypnosis practitioner, so maybe like a guided session. And that can be paid or free, you know. But just bear in mind with groups that there are different personalities and mindsets that come, you know, on board. And that is where it becomes very important for you what your intention is and how you communicate what you do so that you attract the right sort of people. You know, that doesn't mean that you tone yourself down. It just means that you're very clear about this is what I do for this group of people. And these are the kind of people that will, you know, resonate with it. And these are the benefits that you can expect to get from it. Transparency, clarity, honesty. Okay? Takes a little while. And then the sixth point is intention, which is what we sort of like really just touched on now. All right? Otherwise, you're sort of wasting your time. I can tell you now already from experience, lots of it. When you try to reach everyone, you reach no one. You get breadcrumbs. And this is something when we need money, when that can sort of like make us want to spread the message as broadly as possible, but then your message gets thinned out. So who is it that you want to reach? Why do you want to reach them? What do you want to offer them? How can they get it? How much does it cost? boom, boom, boom. You know, that whole thing of being ever so mysterious, that's just my opinion, but you know, that whole thing of being ever so mysterious, I'm not going to let you know what the rate is because I first want to hook you and then I want to get you interested and then you click this link and then I say to you like little thing that get you. So by the time you get to the price, you don't really mind paying. When you operate like that, I can tell you already now from lots of personal experience, it might be that you lack belief that what you have isn't worth what you want to charge for it. So maybe you need to do some introspection within yourself. Okay? Now, you can do it. I'm not saying that you should only do it the way that I do it. But what I'm saying is that when I felt that I shouldn't tell people what the price is, it is often because I doubted myself, or it was just that I didn't feel confident in communicating my price, and then maybe it's sometimes time for some introspection. All right? And then just lastly, and this I feel is one of the most important points, it's a company that you surround yourself with. If you, now sometimes we start at a certain point and we just start off alone, and it just is what it is. So when people then do come into your life, you want to make sure that you then entertain people into your life that does support all these things that I mentioned. But if you can start off with one exceptional friend, then I was very lucky, I was very blessed, because I started off with my best friend who was really supporting me, who happened to be a social media expert, you know, online marketing specialist. But, you know, it's easy to say, well, Adrian, you started off with that, and that's what you had. I don't have that, so, you know, that was an advantage that you had. You can either make excuses, or you can realize what's holding you back, and you can, you know, find a way to work through it. But if you have that one friend, if you have that one friend that's in your corner, that is going to let you fly, but is also going to be honest with you and say to you, listen, Baba, you might want to tone this and this down a little bit. You know, because fear can make you stupid. Cherish that friend. Cherish that friend. All right? Cherish that person. And as we start, I've had some experiences where people started out to tell these people were my friends. They saw more of my light than I actually saw myself, because I used to be incredibly insecure. Those are going to happen. There's going to be disappointments. But, you know, the people that are really successful in this world, myself included, all the other people that you might look at, they had to go through a journey. And so you don't always get it right away. It's going to be challenging. But I want to encourage you to be clear of your intention, to work at believing on yourself, in yourself, to be open to, you know, why is it that you do things, you know, to be open to those one-on-one sessions. You can take one a day, you can take one a week. And maybe you still have a job, and you can do your job, say it's Monday to Friday, maybe you take one reading, you know, over the weekend, or you do some things on Saturday. It's fine, you can do that. You know, open the offer to your close friends and relatives. Maybe some of them would like some guidance, and you can maybe charge them a lesser fee, okay? Because remember, the name of the game of this video is to start making money. All right, so you don't have to always do things for free. Just because you grow, you can maybe ask people a very small amount of money. Maybe you want to get yourself a new deck, and you know the deck is, let's say, I don't know, $25. You know, just use a currency here that might work for everybody. And so you say, well, $25 might be a bit steep for me. So maybe you can put out an offer that you are doing, say, 30-minute readings for, you know, for $5 for the first people, 5 people that you know, respond. And you don't even have to be mysterious about it. You can say, I want to buy myself this deck, you know. And people often be on board with helping you grow, to support your growth, as long as your message is clear. All right? So I hope that this helped you. Let me know if you want me to make more sort of material like this. And here is a phrase that I don't want you to be afraid to say on YouTube or anywhere else. Subscribe to my channel, like the channel, leave a comment, because it helps me to grow. Don't be afraid to say it. I used to be terrified of those words. You know, who are you? Introduce yourself. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a born intuitive. I help people to discover their magic, to expand it, to unlock it, to maintain it, to benefit from it. I'm very passionate about personal empowerment for people, be that individuals, be that groups. That is what I focus on. That's what I'd like to help you in. the way that I help you is through holistic consultation, where I often bring in the tarot, I bring in oracle cards, I bring in Nordic runes, I bring in the I Ching, I bring in my own channeling, I bring in my psychic mediumship. If you want to connect on a deeper level, I'm very passionate about, you know, offering regression hypnosis sessions, past life regression, breath work. A lot of times tension is locked in the body, and that is what made me decide to offer massages. I'm a Reiki grandmaster. I bring that into the massages. Sometimes I feel like bringing in a crystal. Be clear about what it is that you do. This is what I do. This is how I do it. This is how you can get it from it. Okay? This is the rate. All right? Know that you can do this. Know that you can do this. If someone like me, who had this irrefutable belief that I am the one mistake in the universe, the one thing where God went wrong, if I can do it, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, you can do it. And when you run into those walls and those challenges, it's an opportunity for you to go to that next level. Okay? Know that you can do this. Know that you've got this. The world needs your light. You are showing up for the people that need your light. Okay?